think we have, ooh, y'all. That's a good thing y'all aren't here for my good looks. So I think we have some broccoli to harvest. So we're gonna go out there and get that done. And have to move some trays into the high tunnel and get some plants covered in the high tunnel and some plants moved out of the high tunnel to the house, because we're gonna have some consecutive temps of freezing, and the back and forth of covering them is getting it's getting to be too much. So I'm gonna be working on that now. Potassium is a girl's best friend. It's been a couple of days since I've been able to be out here, so I really hope these broccoli heads haven't started to open. Let's see. Oh man, they're so pretty. You know, they might get bigger. Oh, I'm afraid to risk it. Oh my goodness, look at this, y'all. Look at that. Beautiful broccoli. Big as my hand. This one is, yeah, about big as my hand. Now my hands are dimensionally short. They're fat, but they're short. So there's that. Let's see. Oof. All right. These leaves are so pretty. Oh, that one's a little bit bigger. That one's a bit bigger. So I might take that one and leave the other. See if it grows some more. So here's the interesting thing about broccoli. Broccoli is one of those plants that you can harvest the head of. You can eat the leaves as well. You can cook them just like collards, okay? So it's really a no waste plant. Even the stem, you could slice it thinly and saute it. Also just harvest the head from the center, and then what you do is leave the plant, and along the stems here is such a thick one. I believe this is going to get bigger. I'm going to leave it. Look how thick this stem is here. That broccoli head, I believe, is going to get much bigger than that. I'm going to leave it. I'll just have to check it every day to be sure it's not trying to open up any. But once I pull this head or cut it, I'll cut it right along there, okay? We'll cut it there. And then along the sides, after this is cut, little small broccoli heads, broccoli shoots, will start growing on the side of the broccoli. They won't be as big as the initial head, of course, but you know, it's food, and they're just as delicious and tasty as the first one. Again, they will be smaller, but they will be useful food for you. All right, well, that's your little tip for today. I'm sorry, I think I'm gonna leave these. I'm gonna leave them and wait and see, check on them each day and see how big they're actually gonna get. I was just standing here talking to Brian, and I was like, I really had my mind on some fresh food today, so we're gonna harvest a few of these leaves. Look at that. And when I tell you, you cook them just like kale or collards. They do need a little bit longer cooking than a mustard would, but so good, like so good. So I'm gonna pick maybe 2 or 3 more, and we'll figure out a way to utilize. Here, Brian, hold these for me. My balance,
Okay.
balance isn't great right now. Ugh, okay. All right, so I think I'm gonna snatch some of these leaves in here too. We got everything covered to a degree. And there's a crock pot under there, so even things that are not covered, they shouldn't get a low air temperature because of the crock pot emitting that humidity and heat. So it's like its own little microclimate there. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, our beets are coming up. Look at that. So I knew that these broccoli and everything would be coming up soon. So we planted beets in the in-between spaces. So happy to see those coming up. I really don't have success with beets, and so even like if they don't grow substantial roots, that's, you know, it is what it is. I can still use those leaves in my salads. So it's a win-win, because if the roots grow significantly, we can use those for our customers who've requested them. And if they don't, well, we can tell them we continue to try and work out the science, and we can use those leaves. So I know that beet leaves do have a flavor similar to the beet, but for me it's not as strong, and it's a little bit more tolerable. So notice I'm not taking many of these leaves, because the leaves do draw energy and are able to help these broccoli heads to grow. So, but if you want to snag a few, you can. And if you have enough plants, it's also not as traumatizing, because you can kind of do like we're doing here and snag a few from each plant and get you a nice little, that southern word, a nice little mess. Man, they are going off. You would think it was evening time, like time for them to be. And this one's looking more like a sprouting broccoli, because it's already trying to open up. So I may just pull that whole one. Yeah. Got so far, and you know, we already harvested a little bit more than that. I think the leaves that we harvested earlier were bigger, so won't be enough for like any leftovers or anything, but it will be enough for a nice little dinner. Oh, look at these peas, and look at the carrots coming up in between. This is good. I really am excited about the peas and carrots growing together, because you have no idea how much space that saves. It saves us a lot of space. Like, whereas this would have been a row of carrots, probably a double row. So this would have been, yeah. And then I have a double row over there with those peas. So yeah, that is good. I don't really think there's any benefit as far as companion planting, those other than space saving. Like, you're getting more money for your buck as far as if you have limited space, you know, like we do. Oh, and if you didn't know, we grew it last year. It's leaf broccoli, and you can plant it with the goal of just harvesting the leaves. And if you leave it long enough, you'll eventually get little sprouting heads. Come here, you. My hands are full. All right, guys, gotta get in, start working on dinner. Check you later.